The Burden of Glory, a devotional for the season of Lent, produced by Northside Church. Friday, March 13th. Our scripture passage today comes from Luke chapter 10, verses 36 and 37.
Which of these three do you think was a neighbor to the man who fell into the hands of robbers? The expert in the law replied, the one who had mercy on him. Jesus told him, go and do likewise.
As we've reached the midway point of Lent, we've arrived at the very heart of all of Jesus' teaching and the core of what it means to bear the burden of glory, being a neighbor to everyone we cross paths with. We are all familiar with the parable of the Good Samaritan, but a quick review will be helpful. A man from Jerusalem is on his way to Rahab's hometown of Jericho when he is jumped by bandits. He is beaten and robbed, stripped, and left for dead. A priest and a Levite, both important leaders in the faith community, see the man as he lie there dying, but quickly step to the other side of the road and continue on their way. But then a Samaritan came upon the man. Rather than walking by, this Samaritan
went to him and bandaged his wounds, pouring on oil and wine. Then he put the man on his own donkey, brought him to an inn, and took care of him. Luke chapter 10, verse 34. Beyond that, he ensured that this stranger who had been beaten would have everything he needed until he recovered, paying for the man's expenses and care, even offering to return to reimburse anything that might not already be covered. While the Samaritan, a foreigner himself, didn't invite the stranger into his home, he did invite him into his life, into his circle of concern and care. In fact, he went above and beyond, becoming a model for us concerning not only how we treat the stranger, but pretty much every other group of people Jesus mentions in our core passage of Matthew 25. The Samaritan saw another human being in a very dark situation, and he stepped into it with him. That is what it looks like to bear the burden of glory as we shine God's glory and presence into the darkest of situations. Jesus put it another way. This is what it means to be a neighbor and to love your neighbor as yourself. At the end of the day, being a neighbor is what Jesus is talking about with the 6 groups of people we are reflecting on during this season of Lent. It's what Jesus is talking about when he says, follow me. It's what we mean when we say that Jesus has called us to bear the burden of God's glory. Be a neighbor to everyone you encounter, no matter who it is, and love them as you yourself are loved.